Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Teach Them Diligently podcast. We are so glad you're here. Every week, we try to share simple answers to help your homeschool family thrive. This week, we have a really exciting guest. Kirk Cameron is with us. A lot of you probably knew him as I did, as Mike Seaver from Growing Pains a long time ago. I grew up definitely spending a lot of time with Mike Seaver through the years. Since then, he has done so many other movies: Fireproof, Monumental, Left Behind. He's worked on The Way of the Master. He has done lots of projects to remind us what's important to our families and how to help our families thrive. He's currently doing an American campfire revival to help us remember what's truly important and to kind of go back to those things that are ingrained in our DNA as a people as well as a country. So Kirk, welcome to the Teach Them Diligently podcast. I am so glad that you're here with us.
Thank you. It's so great to be with you, and so appreciate what you guys do with Teach Them Diligently, the website and the podcast and the conferences. It's so important, and it's so timely right now for us to be talking about this with important things happening in the world and the incredible rise of homeschooling all across the nation.
Well, it really is. It's exciting to see, but it's as I'm sure that you feel it too, it's a really great responsibility to help all of these new people coming in to get a vision for doing it right and how it can really bless and enhance their family rather than work against it. So I wanted to kind of let you introduce a project that you're working on now that we are so excited about. So tell us what's coming up for you and kind of a little bit about that new project.
Okay, this is a great buildup. This sounds like the mystery secret project.
Exactly. I'm not going to say it. You say it.
This is like Christmas time, the unveiling. So I've been really busy for the last two and a half years making a documentary film called the Homeschool Awakening. And I'm actually going to be on Fox News later on this evening with Jesse Waters, and then again later with Shannon Bream, talking about the fact that there is a parent-led movement that is essentially a great awakening across the nation, primarily within the family of faith, who are understanding, since the COVID pandemic, when kids were sent home from their public schools to do school on their laptop, that the public schools were pumping such immoral sewage into the minds of our children, rotting their souls and teaching them to hate America through things like the 1619 Project and critical race theory, and then just undermine everything that is natural and normal and that they understand about how God made us by inviting them to choose their own pronouns and decide if they want to be a boy or a girl today. That they're pulling their kids out of public school systems, and they're saying we need another option, and they're discovering the beautiful world of homeschooling. And so I want to document American families who are taking a deep dive into putting faith, family, and freedom back into learning, and showing people that they can do it, whether they live on a farm and they've got a head covering, own a cow, and churn their own butter, or they live in a city and they own a business. And there are so many different options, as you know. There's so many curriculums, and the fact that parents get to be in charge, the fact that parents get to be the ones who choose curriculum and processes and lifestyle and schedules is just thrilling to parents, and millions of them are doing it successfully. And my job is to document a few of them, to answer some of the frequently asked questions and show the how-tos and the ins and outs, and let you know that there is hope and there are options.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you chose the word awakening. I think that is such a cool thing, because it really has been an awakening. I think that when families got their children home during the pandemic, the ones that had been sending their children to traditional school, the school that is what we think of so often, that brick and mortar variety, they got their kids home. And not only did they start seeing, like you were talking about, the yuck that they were being taught, the stuff that didn't align with their morals, their values, what they wanted for their children, but they also got a taste of what life with your kids around all the time was like.
That's right.
And for a lot of us, that was a wonderful new reality that I think that they had kind of assumed they couldn't have.
Yeah, because you think, well, wait a minute, this is just the way it is. You just send your kids to school. I went to public school. My father's a public school teacher. My grandparents were public school teachers. It wasn't that bad. But today's public school system, even though there are good teachers within that system, even though there are good families who have children in that system, this isn't the public school system you and I went to. Even within the last 3 years, it has changed to where it's unrecognizable. And it's shifted from education about what produces people of character, families that flourish, and nations that are free, to indoctrination that undermines all three of those things. And so when families pulled their kids out and they began to experience, as you said, the joy of learning how to do life again together, many of them said, we don't want to send our kids back, not only because we want a better education for them, but this is working for our family. It's hard, right. It's a sacrifice, it's challenging. I don't have all the answers, but I'm not going to go back to where we were. And I'm so glad I have the opportunity. So that's what Homeschool Awakening is all about. And I hope everybody goes and sees it on Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday when? Just in case that they don't know when this is being shot, give us the dates. And then I have a few other questions about it.
Yeah, so the Homeschool Awakening is in theaters only. So you get to go to the movie theater, watch it with popcorn in your hand. And it's Monday night, Tuesday night, June 13th and 14th only. And many theaters, believe it or not, have already sold out.
That's
so
awesome.
Because there's limited nights and limited theaters, my recommendation is go to thehomeschoolawakening.com, or you could just go to kirkcameron.com. I've got an easy link right there. And then on the screen will come a little box where you put in your zip code. If you type that in, all the theaters next to your house will show up, and you can go there and reserve your tickets early so that you're not left behind.
Yeah, nice plug there. Now, is there any chance that if we just kind of flood the theaters, bringing all of our friends, grabbing our homeschool groups and so on, that
Yes.
there may be even extended runs, or we could get this stretched out so we can get more people there?
I like the way that you think. That's exactly right. If they're selling tickets and people are coming and interested, they'll want more and more and more, and
Cool.
They'll extend the run for more people to see it. And of course, the news will report on it. I'm going to be on Fox News later on tonight. And if you've seen the Homeschool Awakening and stuff that I said about it is trending on Twitter right now, because everyone knows that there is a massive breach of trust between the public school systems and parents around the country. We're seeing that all over the news, with parents showing up at the school board meetings, just going off on the school board and the teachers unions. In fact, we have one documented story within the movie of a mom who was at a school board meeting where a bill was going to be passed that notified parents of explicit sexual material before it was presented to the children in school. And she thought, well, this is a no-brainer. Of course they're going to pass this. This just makes sense. Just let the parents know what's going on. Well, before they started to read the examples and show the pictures of what the kids were going to be learning in school, they stopped the meeting and ordered everyone under 18 to leave the room because it was so sexually explicit. Wow. And then the teachers unions and the representatives there said, parents, don't even stand up and express your opinion, because we're the experts. We have the degrees. You stay out of this. We'll decide what your kids need to learn and when they need to learn it. That's when she pulled her kids out of the public school system and decided to start homeschooling.
Yeah. And it's so amazing. We as parents are the ones that we're teaching our children from the very beginning. We are the most natural teachers for them, the ones who know them best, who can
100%.
Get inside of their heads and hearts better than anyone else. And yet we've been so indoctrinated ourselves to believe that we have to outsource that to some expert who has a couple of letters after their name that shows that they can do it better than us, which is just not the way that God designed it in the first place.
Yeah, I get it, Leslie. But at the same time, for many of us, like me and my wife, we didn't grow up with homeschooling being normal. That was very abnormal. We were allergic to homeschooling from the beginning, thinking that you had to be a Quaker or something like that in order to do that. And by the way, it was going to be a lesser quality education if you tried to be the science teacher, the math teacher, and the history teacher. But we had to be educated ourselves, and we had to take an honest look at what our kids are actually learning in school beside math. a lot of kids are just, they're in school. I don't need to go into all the details, but, they're learning how to engage in dark, risky behavior. And they're learning things about God and the family and the world and about America that are not only just not true, that are dangerous and that are divisive. And, if we know anything about history, this is the primary conduit for a godless Marxist government to train children to be little revolutionaries. Yeah. If you write the textbooks, you control the future. And we've got a great textbook, and it's called The Bible. And once we learn to have faith and character, which George Washington said are the two indispensable supports for a republic like ours, once we learn that we are the creature, we're not the creator, and we follow his ways, now we can actually properly understand the world that he made, and we can know our place in it, and we can use the gifts and resources he's given us to bring heaven to earth for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen. Well, Kirk, what would you say is the primary takeaway that you want families to walk away from the Homeschool Awakening with, so that we can present this correctly to everyone that is kind of intrigued by it?
If you go watch the Homeschool Awakening, whether you're just curious about homeschooling and you want some questions answered, you're not sure how to get started, like where do I put the blackboard? Where do I put the cubbies? What curriculum do I use? Do I need to grind my own wheat and, dip my own candles? This is a movie to go see, because you're going to watch 17 families from totally different backgrounds, different racial backgrounds, different educational backgrounds, rural, urban families. And I want you to walk away understanding that God gave your kids to you. And if you recognize that you have one shot at parenting and you don't want to outsource parenting to a godless government school system, you need to explore what these parents have to say about homeschooling and hear what the kids are saying after having been homeschooled and how much they appreciate it and the opportunities that they have because of it. I want you to know that you have hope, you have options, you're not stuck where you don't want to be, you don't have to be there. And I want you to have a spirit of adventure. I want you to get in the leadership position of the education of your kids. You choose the curriculum, you choose the moral values, you choose the processes, and there's a wonderful community of people, and you will not meet better people than at Teach Them Diligently conferences who are ready to help you.
Well, that is true. And we actually are super excited to be partnering with you to be able to provide a Homeschool Success Kit to everybody who comes to the Fathom event next week. So we are super grateful that you are allowing us to do that. And we've been working hard to pull together some great resources for the families who show up to try to get them a leg up and a proper focus on what they're doing as they launch out.
Yeah, well, we're so honored to be working together with you, and super excited to fill up those theaters. I love your idea. Tell your friends. Don't just go, but bring friends.
Yeah.
Go on social media. And if you go to our website, thehomeschoolawakening.com, there's a press room, and you can download all sorts of cool things, from the trailer to banners for your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and let people know that Monday, Tuesday, it's important, because this is a movie about us. When's the last time you saw a movie in the movie theaters about our people? I mean, this is about what we're all about. And I don't know when we're going to get another chance to bring family and friends and neighbors and say, this is who we are. This is what we're about. Now, do you get it?
That is an excellent point. So be sure, everybody, that you show up Monday and Tuesday, June 13th and 14th. Get your tickets now at thehomeschoolawakening.com. Go to the press room, get all the great graphics and copy that you need to share, and invite everyone you know to join us there. I'm going to give you all of those links in the show notes so that it's super easy for you to get it. And Kirk, I'm very grateful for you taking the time to hang out with us today. I know you're busy, so I don't want to hold you too long, but thank you. And I personally cannot wait to be there Monday night, popcorn in hand and ready to see all that the Homeschool Awakening has in store.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Great to talk with you. God bless you.
God bless. Have a great one. For the rest of you, thank you all for joining us today. It's been such a privilege to be able to talk to you. I hope this has been exciting and encouraging. Be sure you check the show notes to get the links to see the Homeschool Awakening. Get your tickets today. And I can't wait to hear what you think about it when all is said and done. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.